Well, it's been about a week since the GPT Store came out. I talked all about it and shared my thoughts about what I think is in store for the GPT Store right here. But since it's come out, I've been playing with a lot of the GPTs that are available. And while there are so many that do the exact same thing as so many others, and it kind of muddies the waters of the GPTs that are available, I have found a handful that I think are genuinely useful. Now, some of these I did mention in my previous GPTs video, which you can find it by searching for this thumbnail here. But most of these are brand new GPTs, and most of them will save you a ton of time and are actually really, really helpful. I threw a few fun ones in there as well, but most of them are genuinely huge time savers and brain savers. Anyway, here's 15 GPTs that I've come across that I'm really digging right now. And the way you can find any of these GPTs that I'm going to talk about is by going to chat.openai.com/GPTs. Now, you do need to be a ChatGPT Plus subscriber to access these GPTs in the GPT Store. But if you are a Plus subscriber, that's where you're going to find them. Every single one that I mentioned, you're just going to type into the search box here and it's going to pull it up for you. Now, the first GPT I'm going to show you is one that could cause you to stop watching my videos completely. Hopefully not, but I'm going to share it with you anyway because I think it's cool. And it's called Video Summarizer AI. We'll simply search it out here, click on the one that says Video Summarizer AI, and now we can plug in any YouTube URL. It will summarize it for us, but then we can also ask questions about the video. So for example, if I copy the URL to this video right here and type summarize this video, plug in our URL, go ahead and allow access to this videosummarizer.com and check this out. It gave a summary of everything I talked about in this video, the overview, the AI powered grill, AMD's innovation, Microsoft and AMD, Nvidia, AI and consumer electronics, Sony innovations, the Rabbit R1, the CES experience, some of the insights it got from the video. The emphasis on AI and consumer electronics indicates a trend towards more personalized, efficient, and interactive technology in daily life. And then it even gives some example follow-up questions. How does the AI-powered Sear Grill's Perfecta grill improve its cooking over time? What are the key features of AMD's Ryzen 8040 series and how do they benefit AI applications? In what ways are companies like Samsung and LG integrating AI into their consumer electronics? And without actually watching the video, I get a pretty good overview of everything that's talked about, as well as questions that I should ask to get more details about the video. Now, the second GPT that I want to mention in this video is actually the sponsor of today's video, but you can ignore the fact that they're a sponsor because it's a tool that I would use anyway and legitimately one of the coolest GPTs available. I'm talking about Video AI by Invideo, and as you can see, it's got over 25,000 users right now. Clearly, most other people also see this as a really cool GPT. Now, if you've seen my previous videos where I've talked about Invideo, it is a tool where you can create an entire video with just one text prompt, and it will create human-like voiceover, background music, the entire script for you, and find all the B-roll video and images for throughout the video. So you give it one prompt and it can make a whole video as short or as long as you need. Again, to access this one, just go to the GPT Store, type in video, and it should be one of the first results that shows up. Here's an example prompt that we can give. Create a YouTube short about how AI can help in the world of healthcare. Make the video authoritative, professional, and use female voice. Go ahead and send the message. It gave us a title for the short, Revolutionizing Healthcare, AI's Transformative Role. It says the video is ready, and you can watch the video here. So if I click on this link, it's going to open up the Invideo website. If you don't already have an account, you can create an account for free right away. You can either join with Google, Apple, or just enter an email. I already have an account, but if I click join with Google, it will log me into my account. I can see that it's still preparing the final video for me. And here's the video I got. Yes, it shows some watermarks, but if you do decide to upgrade to a premium plan, it will remove all the watermarks and you can use all the stock video and footage that's in the video. Let's take a quick peek.
Ever marveled at how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing healthcare? Picture this: AI-driven diagnostics offering unparalleled accuracy and speed.
Now, let's say I'm not quite happy with the video. I want to make some tweaks. I can just prompt what I want changed about the video. I can have it changed to a different voice. I can have it changed to a male voice. I could tell it to start the intro with a joke or add a call to action to the end of the video. Maybe I want hip hop music in the background or rock music in the background, or maybe even steer the direction of what B-roll I want to use in the video. I can figure all of that out by just typing in a text prompt. Change the voice over to a male British voice and start with a joke. Let's click generate. Now we have a new version. It should start with a joke and have a British male voice instead.
Why did the AI go to medical school? Because it knew it could make a bite of a difference in healthcare.
And we all kind of know AI is not great at jokes, but this tool is amazing at creating these videos. If I don't like any of the stock videos or stock footage, I can simply click on edit and we can see all of the footage that was used in the video, click any individual one, and swap it out for something else if we need to. When I'm ready to download the video, I simply click export. If I'm on the Plus plan, I have the option to download it without a watermark. If you're using the free version, you could still download the video, but it's going to have the watermark. So in my opinion, it's worth upgrading. Again, you can find this by going to the GPT Store, typing Invideo, and then kickstarting the process of making an AI-generated video. Thank you once again to Invideo for sponsoring this video. Next up is DesignerGPT. You know this one's good because it's got over 100,000 users on it. DesignerGPT allows you to go back and forth with ChatGPT to design a custom website. For example, design a personal blog layout. You can see it starts mapping out the features of the blog, and then it says, let's get started. It then gives me a link to this new personal blog layout that it created, and as you can see, it's pretty basic. But that's the beauty of ChatGPT. We can give it more instructions and make it even cooler looking. Let's say instead of calling it my blog, change it to Matt Wolfe's blog. Add more style to the website to give it more of a modern look. Use rounded edges on images or any boxes within the site. And let's see how it does with those changes. I got a new link. We take a peek. You can see it changed it to Matt Wolfe's blog, rounded the edges here. Didn't really do much more of a modern design, but this is the cool part about it. You don't need to know HTML and CSS. You just go and tell DesignerGPT what you want it to change next and keep going back and forth with it until you get what you want. Next up, let's talk about Grimoire, one of the most popular GPTs available. I think I've mentioned it in like 5 videos now, but it is one of the cooler GPTs available. Grimoire is a coding wizard. Create a website or anything with a sentence. It's got 20 plus hotkeys for coding flows, 27 starter projects to learn from, or just build anything, ask questions, upload a photo, or type R for the README. I actually saw somebody use this to make a one-shot Pong game. So let's try something similar. Let's try create a simple side scroller game where the player runs from the left of the screen to the right of the screen and can jump. It's mapping out the game plan for us, set up the environment, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So apparently it created it all, ran it and tested it, and it gave me the ability to download an HTML file and a JavaScript file and instructions on how to run it. So let's go ahead and download our HTML file, download our JavaScript file. Theoretically, since they're in the same folder anyway, if I open this index file, I have a screen with a blue square on it, but I'm not getting any motion out of it using any of the keys. So it didn't work with a one-shot prompt, but let's see if we can tell it what's happening, get the code updated, and get a version that's working. So I quickly explained what was going on, and now it says, thanks for the feedback, let's enhance the game. Now it gave me a new JavaScript file, let's download this. Let's see if we can make this work with 2 shots. We'll jump back over to our game here, refresh it, our player drops in, and now if I hit A, it goes left, E, it goes right. The jump function still isn't working with spacebar, but again, that's the beauty of these GPTs. You just keep on prompting it until you get what you want. So it might be a multi-shot process to get the exact game you're looking for. Maybe Pong could be done with a single shot, but if it's a slightly more advanced game, you're going to want to go back and forth with it a little bit, but eventually Grimoire will get you there. Next up, let's talk about Canva. If you've ever used the normal Canva web app, you can design projects by dragging and dropping images and typing text. The Canva GPT allows you to type a prompt and generate a design in Canva directly, but from using a prompt. For example, make an Instagram post about a breathtaking sunset. It's asking me if there's any specific message or feeling that I want to associate with the image. So let's go ahead and say fun and relaxation. We can see ChatGPT is talking to Canva now. And here's the 2 images that it generated for me. If I click on one of the images, it should open it directly in Canva. And now I can change any of the text, change the image, and tweak this Canva image that it made for me. Here's a fun one called Sticker Whiz, and this one's actually made by the team at ChatGPT. Let's say make a cool sticker of a wolf howling at the moon. And I believe what it's doing is using DALL-E 3 to create an image, but within the prompt, it's telling it to create it in the design of a sticker. Here's your custom die-cut sticker featuring a wolf howling at the moon. The sticker looks like this. It's actually pretty cool, but it actually says, if you're happy with the design and ready to order your stickers, please let me know the quantity and size you'd like. I'd like 50 of these stickers at 3" by 3". And just like that, it gives me a link, and it actually links me off to Sticker Mule, where I can order stickers. Here's another one called Simpsonize Me, a pretty fun one. You upload a picture and it turns you into a Simpsons character. However, this is another one of those where it's pretty easy to create your own GPT that does this, so there's a whole bunch of clones of this same concept. Still a fun idea. Let's upload this photo of myself, and after about 30 seconds, here's what it thinks I would look like as a Simpsons character. Not too bad, actually. Next up, let's talk about Consensus. Consensus is an AI research assistant. It searches 200 million academic papers, so you can get science-based answers and draft content with accurate citations. If I type, how does a superconductor work? And here, not only do we get explanations of how superconductors work, but we also get resources cited of where the information came from. So if I look at the high temperature superconductors here and I click on this link, it will take me right over to Consensus and show me the research paper. Here's another very similar concept called ScholarGPT, which searches Google Scholar, PubMed, JSTOR, Archive, and more. The last one searches Consensus. This one will get you details from Archive. And one of the suggested prompts here is find the latest research about AI. So let's try that. And here we go. Advancements in microneedle fabrication techniques, artificial intelligence assisted 3D printing technology. That sounds exciting to me because I've recently got into 3D printers. And once again, it cites its sources. So if I click on the link to paper, you can see this paper is hosted on Springer.com. And we can get direct access to the original paper here. This second one here, if I click on the link to the paper, it's actually from ScienceDirect.com. And if I run the prompt again, I get some more links, and these ones are actually linking me off to archive.org. So if you need to do some deep dive research with white papers and research papers involved, Consensus and ScholarGPT are your go-to GPTs to find and analyze that research. Speaking of researching AI, there's a really cool GPT called AI GPT. And this one is an artificial intelligence and machine learning expert adept in deep learning frameworks. This is a bot where you could go back and forth and ask questions specific to artificial intelligence, and it will help you understand those concepts. For example, explain attention in a neural network like I'm 5. And it gives me a nice analogy on how attention specifically works within neural networks. If you're curious, go ahead and pause this video and read about it. But this has been a really cool GPT to sort of go back and forth with until you fully grasp and really understand a concept that you're trying to learn in the AI world. Next, let's take a peek at Finance Wizard. If you're into investments, specifically stock market investments, you can use this to essentially get advice on what to invest in because it tries to predict the future of specific investments. Now, of course, it's not financial advice, but you can use it as a small piece of your research when you're looking into what to invest in. So for example, predict the future price of Apple. It actually kind of did a false start and got an error, but then it went on to make an assumption anyway. The predicted future price of Apple Inc. stock for the next trading day is approximately $184.60. Looking at the current price of Apple as I record this, it is at $185.63 right now. So Finance Wizard's predicting it's going to go down. Let's see what happens if I do something like, what can we expect the price of Nvidia to be in 6 months? Predicted future price of Nvidia in approximately 6 months is $513.45. The prediction is based on a linear regression model using recent historical stock data. So if we look at Nvidia right now, we're looking at around $547. In 6 months, it's expecting it to be $513. So it's predicting Nvidia to go down this year as well. Again, I have no clue how accurate these predictions are, but it's a fun little extra analysis tool if you are looking into various stocks. If I had to guess, I don't think Nvidia is going down by that much in 6 months, but I don't offer investment advice either. Next up, let's talk about the Negotiator, which is actually a GPT created by ChatGPT as well. Now, this is a tool where you can essentially role play the negotiation process with the GPT and help you become a better negotiator. An example they've got here: prepare me to negotiate for a car purchase. It then asks a whole bunch of questions about what you're about to negotiate so that it can better answer the questions. I went ahead and answered it with a theoretical situation here, and it gave me a step-by-step plan to research, approach the dealership, initial offer and counter offers, emphasize the cash payment, focus on the total price, walk away, emotional attachment, etc. And then down here, it actually starts the role play situation. I see you're interested in the Porsche 911 Turbo. It's one of our most exquisite models. The price we're offering is $210,000. What are your thoughts? And in a role play scenario, I could say something like, I can't go above $190,000. It then tells me what the dealer will likely respond with. It tells me what my next move should be, as well as the possible response I should give them, maybe come up to 195, and explains the strategy. And you can do this with any type of negotiation, not just car negotiations. You can use it for purchasing a house, or trying to get a new salary in your job, or purchasing equity in a company. There's so many different things that could be negotiated that you can use this GPT to practice on. Next up is FAQ Generator AI. This is one where you simply plug in a URL. It looks at the content of the URL and then creates an FAQ from that content. For example, here's an article about OpenAI's big plan to combat election misinformation. Now, you would probably use this for like a sales page for your product, but it works for articles as well. So I can say, create an FAQ for, then paste in the URL. You can see here that it wrote up a list of questions. What is OpenAI's new policy? Here's the answer. How is OpenAI planning to tackle misinformation? Here's the answer, etc. And you can have it formatted into HTML or schema for your WordPress blog or whatever, and it takes all of the thinking out of making an FAQ. Now, this is another GPT. You could probably just create yourself with the GPT builder, and a lot of other people have done this, but creating FAQs, I think, is a really good use case of these GPTs. Here's one called Playlist AI, which actually syncs to either Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or Deezer, and you tell it what you want a playlist for. Make a playlist for my upcoming camping trip. It asks me a few questions here. What streaming platform? I use Spotify. Any specific genres, the mood or the vibe, and a preferred number of songs or duration. Let's just go 4 hours. It then asks me to sign in with Spotify. So if I click here to sign in with Spotify, I can click agree. And now it says it's talking to Spotify, and it's created an upbeat playlist for me. It includes Blink-182, Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Sum 41, Weezer, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eminem, Dr. Dre, The Notorious B.I.G., Bob Marley and the Wailers, among others. If I click this link right here, it's going to bring me right over to Spotify, where it's already generated a playlist inside for me. The only thing it kind of messed up on was I said 4 hours and it gave me 55 minutes, but still pretty cool. Here's one called Sous Chef, which was also created by ChatGPT themselves. And what's really cool about this one is you can show an image of what's in your fridge, and it will suggest what you could make with the ingredients available in your fridge. So here's a picture of my fridge. What should I make? Of course, it's going to ask me in a second to give me a picture of the fridge. Here's a random picture I found on the internet. This is not my actual fridge, but this will do. Go ahead and upload this here, send it in. It's suggesting I make grilled veggie and hummus wraps. It says you've got the tortillas, a selection of fresh vegetables, and hummus. A perfect trio for a quick and nutritious meal. Then it gives me the preparation, the grilling, the assembly, the serving, and the items that I need to make it. And it took all of these from the image of the fridge. So 4 large tortillas. You can see it shows bags of tortillas here. So it found that. 1 cup of hummus. I'm not sure where it saw the hummus. Maybe it thinks this thing back here is hummus. I don't know. 1 red bell pepper, 1 yellow bell pepper, zucchini, small red onion, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper. Maybe it's just assuming I've got zucchini as well, but overall works pretty good. If you look at this list of things, 90% of it you can definitely tell is in the fridge. And finally, the last one I want to tell you about is Convert Anything, the ultimate file converter for images, audio, video, documents, and more. It handles individual or batch uploads, supports zips, and provides a download link. Some examples: convert these files to MP4, convert this PDF to JPEG, turn this document into an Excel file, convert these images to PNG format. So here's a JPEG image I have on my computer. Let's toss this image in here and say, convert this JPG file into a PDF file. It shows that it had a little error, but it converted it to a PDF anyway. So let's go ahead and download the PDF file. You can see we have AI News Store PDF, and now it's converted this into a PDF file. Here's a random GIF that I have on my computer. Let's go ahead and pull this in as well and say, convert this GIF file into an MP4. And after about 30 seconds or so, it gives me an MP4 file that I can download. I'll go ahead and click on it, and you can see it's opened it in my VLC video player here as an MP4 file. And that's what I got for you. Those are my top 15 GPTs that are available right now in the new GPT Store. Again, the GPT Store is only a week old. I seriously think the companies that have the biggest benefit of creating GPTs are those companies that have APIs that they can connect into from ChatGPT so that they have their own proprietary system. Like Invideo, it connects to the Invideo API and then does all the processing after you prompt inside of ChatGPT. Or like Canva, where you give it a prompt and then it sends the data to Canva to do the work. I think the API connected GPTs are going to do really well as the GPTs that have their own proprietary data that they've uploaded and sort of added for extra context into the GPT. Saying that, my thoughts on the GPT Store have evolved a little bit since I've talked about it in the past. I still don't necessarily think GPTs are going to be the biggest thing in the world. I don't necessarily think that this is the equivalent to like the iPhone App Store, but I think SaaS companies that use ChatGPT as part of their front end process can really win with the GPT Store. I also think people that are creative, that have interesting ideas for GPTs, that also know how to market those GPTs could have a big benefit from using this as well. Because one common theme I saw from a lot of these GPTs is that they respond to your question and then give you a link back to their website where you can learn more. So it could actually be a traffic generator for a lot of companies as well, if they can get their GPT to sort of rise the ranks of the GPT Store. Some interesting potential use cases of GPTs. I still think most people are probably going to just use ChatGPT without the GPTs, since just going straight to ChatGPT and using GPT-4 could give you a lot of the same outcomes. But also, I know this is just version 1 of the GPT Store. I know OpenAI has much, much bigger plans in the future for the GPT Store, so it'll be interesting to see where they take it. I also know people that create GPTs are going to have the opportunity to monetize them and get a revenue share from OpenAI if you're one of the more popular GPTs. That whole revenue sharing model hasn't really been explained yet by OpenAI, so that could be a game changer once we understand how that's going to work as well, because we're still kind of left in the dark about how that's going to play out, and that could change the game for people once we know how it's going to work. So lots of exciting things around GPTs. I just gave you 15 that you can go try that are really, really useful and really helpful. A couple fun ones. I mean, if you want to be a Simpsons character or create random stickers, there's, some playful ones in there too, but most of those are really, really useful. So check them out. Again, the best way to find them is just to go to chat.openai.com/GPTs, type in the name of the GPT that I mentioned, and it will pop it right up for you. And if you just want to stay in the loop with all of the coolest and latest just AI tools outside of ChatGPT, make sure you check out futuretools.io. I add new tools here almost every single day that leverage AI. I keep the AI news up to date on a daily basis, and I have a free newsletter where I will share with you just the most important AI news and just the handful of coolest AI tools each week directly in your inbox. It's all totally free. It's at futuretools.io. If you like videos like this, you love nerding out about AI, you want the latest AI tutorials, the latest AI news, the latest AI research, make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video, and I will make sure more videos like this show up in your YouTube feed. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you to Invideo for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you guys as well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.